today I just want to talk to you about some of the activities we do here in school to develop fine motor skills. And these are really important because we need our fine motor skills for when we're using different tools and equipment, for helping us with dressing and undressing, and also they're really important for when we're starting our handwriting. So some of the activities that we start off with in foundation are simple things that you can do at home as well. We often get plastic pouches which we just fill with paint and simple pattern cards so children can use their fingers to copy patterns. We also do things like with little tongs, finger tongs, and just simple ideas of placing marbles onto pizza trays, so they've got to use their fine motor skills there. Another idea that you can do, we always have in the classroom, simple trays of salt and a paintbrush so that you can have a go at tracing different patterns. Children can use to control their brushes, a really good idea. Simple activities such as threading activities are really good for fine motor skills as well. These all help in developing and strengthening fingers, so we use lots of those. We also sometimes use magic wands or scarves to make simple shapes and to get used to copying patterns. Again, really useful for when we want to start our letter formation. And something the children really enjoy is using Play-Doh, and this really helps with our manual dexterity, rolling, pinching, flattening. And we often follow videos called Dough Disco, which you can find on YouTube. We'll put all the links for these in the resource pack that we're going to send home for you. So children really enjoy doing the Dough Disco. We also usually start our handwriting sessions with some pre-writing warm-up exercises. And these are to strengthen our fingers, our wrists and our shoulders as well, because being able to have strengthen all these parts of our body is really important for being able to hold our pens properly and form our letters correctly. So we may start off with some shoulder stability exercises where we may just be rolling our shoulders up and down. Sometimes we have a little game, I don't know, apply, I don't know, so the children like to do that. We also do some crossing the line activities. These are really important because these really help the children's coordinations. We may make butterflies by linking our thumbs together, fluttering our wings, and make what we call lazy eights, where we make patterns of number 8s on their sides, which help children with their coordination. We do exercises to strengthen our wrists, so we may do some turning the door handles, where we're just using our wrists, or lift wrists up and down, they're really good. And thumb and finger exercises. We often do lots of look-arounds with Tommy Thumb. Again, lots of these songs you can find on YouTube, where we're using our Tommy Thumb, Peter Pointer, Toby Tool, Ruby Ring and finger baby small, okay? I'm just getting children to actually put fingers and thumbs together, which some children can find quite tricky at first. It's all about being able to coordinate your fingers. So lots of those as well. So they're really useful. Then we actually move on to our pencil grip. And it's really important that children are holding a pencil correctly if they want to form their letters correctly. So we talk about making a bird's beak to make a tripod grip. We make our bird's beak and we hold our pens or pencils at the bottom, not at the top because that's too wibbly wobbly, we can't form letters properly. So we hold it near the bottom with our thumb and forefinger and our middle finger supporting, so that's our tripod grip. Sometimes children who are left-handed may find it a little bit tricky. Sometimes we may use supports to help them with their grip, and we often say as well about maybe tilting their paper. So instead of having it straight and having to really struggle to write across, they tilt their paper to the side so they can write across that way. It's a lot easier. So that's some tips for children who are left-handed. When we've got our pencil grip correctly, we think about our pen control, and we often use these pencil control sheets where we just practice tracing carefully on lines, following pattern formation that we often use when we're forming letters, or creating circles. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job there because I'm not on a table, but children practice using their pen control. Okay, and then we start to actually move on to writing our letters, forming our letters. And at Sitwell infant school, we teach cursive handwriting, which means that we start all our letters at the bottom, okay? Now this can be a little bit tricky at first, and parents often ask us why we teach that way, because children often have found it easier to do print. But the reason is that if you start your letters at the bottom from the off and start learning how to form them like that, when you move into year 1 and year 2 and you need to join up your writing together, you're joining your letters together, it's a lot easier. And the children may find it tricky at first, but they soon pick it up. We've found it's been invaluable in handwriting through school later on. The letter mat that shows the formation, our cursive formation, you can also find in your reading diary. It's here, okay? And I'm going to show you another resource that we use in school that's very useful, which you can find on our website, our school website. Again, we'll put all the links on the resource pack that you're going to send home. And it's called the Magic Pencil. And we usually start off our handwriting classes using the Magic Pencil. And all the letters are on display. You can choose a letter. We usually start with the letter S, which makes the sound, because we link all our handwriting to the letters children are learning in phonics, the order that they learn the letters. If you click on the letter, and then Magic Pencil's ready, it shows you where to start at the bottom, and if you just click, the pencil will move and show you the actual letter formation. So we do this with children in class. They follow the Magic Pencil and then they use their fingers to actually make the letter shapes in the air to get the idea, the flow of how the letter is formed. You can try it with all the different letters. It gives you an idea. A really useful resource because it's very visual, and it helps parents as well know how we're forming letters. So that is available on the school website. When we're forming our letters, we always link them to the phonics cards, the read writing cards that we use in phonics, so the actions and the rhymes that we say to remember our letters. So, for instance, when we're doing the letter S, we refer back to the snake that we do, our snake action in phonics, and we say that we start at the bottom, we slide up to the top of the snake's head, we go round his head and round his body and out at the bottom. We always slide up for an entry stroke and exit out at the bottom. We don't take our pen off, we keep it on the board all the time. So up to the top, round the snake's head, round his body and out at the bottom, okay. Again, we say these little rhymes while we're forming the letters, and we will send the list of all the rhymes that we use so that you've got them in your resource pack so you can help children. So for instance, the S then, I would start at the bottom, that's slide up to the top of the snake's head, round the head, round his body and out at the bottom. When I come to the letter, the next one we usually learn is the A, okay, the letter A that makes the A sound, and we link that to the apple actions if we're biting an apple, A. Again, start at the bottom, we slide up to the top of the apple, all the way around the apple and down the leaf. So again, starting on the line, I slide up to the top of the apple, round the apple all the way around, down the leaf and exit out at the bottom. The next letter that we teach is usually the T, the T that makes the T sound, and we link this to our tower, okay? And we usually make our action for our tower by putting our hands above our head to make a tower. So T. We get our finger, we slide up the tower, down very carefully down the same line, down the same tower, out at the bottom. This is the only time that we usually take our pen off when we're making a letter. Take our pen off and then we go across the turret. So again, I'd link that. At the bottom, I slide up the tower, down carefully down the same line, down the tower to the bottom and out, pen off and back across the turret, okay. So, we usually send home for you as well homework sheets after the children have been learning their letters. We'll give you these in a yellow folder which you can then keep at home, and every week we'll send you some more phonics homework, some more letter practice for them to do at home. You can just add these into your yellow folder and keep that at home. You don't need to bring that back to school for us at the moment. So you can lots of practice. Once we've got the letter formation going and children are getting secure with how we're forming the letters, then we start to think about the size of letters. So then we start moving on to boards where we use red lines and we have the dotted line and the solid line. I'll just move that in so you can see. And we start to use these to help us get the size of our letters correct. We always start on the red line, and as you can see we have what we call descenders, where some letters hang down, like a G, G, or a Y, Y, that hang down. We think about our tall letters, our ladder letters that go up tall, like a L, L, or a kicking K, K, that go up tall, so we call those ascenders, so they would have to go up tall. Or we have the ones that just stay, go midway, like an E or an A, or an A, that just go halfway. So then we start to think about the size. Our letters do come in letter families, so we have what we call the caterpillar letters. These are called caterpillar letters because they're like the caterpillar K, that they go up and over, and we say they ping back round, up and over and ping back round. Okay, so they're the caterpillar letters. We also have the family of ladder letters. These are the ones that go up tall. So they start at the bottom and these go up tall, okay, up first. We then have the zigzag letters. These are all the spiky ones that are really pointy. And we have the family of the one-armed robot letters. These are because they slide up and down and then go back up and over like a robot's arm. So if you imagine going up the robot, down, back up and over his arm, they're the one-armed robot letters. So they're how we just link them all to being like a family, different families of letters to help with our formation. Once we've got our letters formation and we're writing words, we then move on to our non-negotiables, which helps us to write sentences clearly. So before we can write a sentence, we always need to be able to say a sentence, okay? And think about how many words we need to write. So if we wanted to write, I can see a dog, we would count it out. I can see a dog. So we know we've got 5 words to write. We'd always remember to start it with a capital letter because we know all sentences start with capital letters. We know that we need to put finger spaces between our words, and we know that we need to finish our sentence with the full stop at the end to show we've finished. And then this symbol here is remind us to go back and check, because we always need to go back and check our work. But we don't start to think about our non-negotiables until we're actually starting to write full sentences. Okay. But one of the most important things that you need to be able to do if you want to write really good sentences is we need to be able to say a sentence. If you can't say a sentence out loud, then you can't write it down. So it's really important that we're doing lots of work and talking to children and developing their communication skills. And this is something that you can do at home as well, just by talking to them all the time, playing lots of games where they might need to describe things, in reading books, reading to them, getting them to describe the pictures, and really making them secure in talking in sentences and using vocabulary, learning new vocabulary. So that's all I've got to say about how we teach handwriting. Obviously, lots of the links that we use we will send out to you, but everybody knows that all your class teachers are here to help you, and you can contact us on your class emails. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.